Hi, welcome back to On TV Canada. I am just a YouTube channel. I'm just done. So before I move on with sending out writing to newspapers and magazines to try to get the answer was no poem published with the recent murders in Montreal for January 1st, 5th, 13th, my birthday, the 18th, and January 25th. Pretty good reason to not celebrate birthdays at this point. Pretty much done myself. I wanted to finish showing the stuff about Tom Welling from the video I just made that I didn't have access to at the time because I couldn't find them. They weren't in the other folder. I have multiple folders for different times in this story of my career around him, and as security. Anyways, I talked about the Hello magazine for the DUI from last year and Valentine's. I mentioned a picture that she had posted, vision board, a comment that I know subliminally, subconsciously at the back of your head, when you're serving the adversary the right way with just such slight subtlety, it does a whopper of a difference. So I wanted to show people that this is what Tom Welling did or does do when he leaves the kids alone with her. He leaves her with an opportunity to do stuff like this. And so my Tom wouldn't do this. You see, that's an alcohol bottle, right? That's booze. You've got babies playing with alcohol, booze, being exposed to the stuff that gets you drunk, makes you alcoholics, causes you to get DUIs, playing with that. And so my brain is thinking, my Tom is thinking, if he knew, I left my child alone with her doing that. Can't imagine what else could be happening with her alone with kids. And there's 3 of them there. At this point, I think he only had the one. I lost my mind when I saw that. So what it says here, TBD, okay, the 2 multiple cuties at the barn and vision board for the coming chapter. So her vision board for the coming chapter was alcohol, 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 more alcohol. So he got drunk last year and got a DUI. Technically, it's just because he's such a big man. It takes extra alcohol when you're in a country that has lower count of alcohol, and you're used to a higher count of alcohol in a country that has higher content of alcohol. And so I saw the long-term reality of how this stuff affects life. And that was it for me. So when he says things like, happy birthday, and our birthdays are really close, I'm January 18th. And he's getting drunk saying happy birthday to her from an Arby's or wherever he was, getting arrested. You know, things are uncomfortable. There's something in this conversation that's not being talked about. And yes, there was lots not being talked about. And because I'm a good security guard and because I actually care about him and his career, right? My goal when I first said I want to play Charlie Baker's wife many decades ago with my first child in a terrible marriage myself, I simply wanted to save the Baker's family by making them all go to church, reconnect with their vows and do sacraments and, get their proxy baptism certificates, go to temples, get baptized for family members, work on getting endowments and their patriarchal blessing, and lead to like marriages, at least to end of life together rather than, for eternity. Because that's a huge step to get married in a temple, to say, I want to be with you forever. Forever is a long time. So I'm good till a death do us part. But that was the goal, is to have the movie industry and all those people have fun paying for all this stuff, giving Tom the experience of his life in characters, Charlie Baker, being blown away by the wonderful romance and segue of being able to visit temples and being put in front of the traditions of what happens in the temples around weddings. It's not normal. You're not just standing up in front of people at an place where the wedding is. There's some stuff that goes on that's different in temples, and I'm just picturing him in that situation, being blown away and absolutely loving it. And he's tongue-tied because he's got to stay Charlie Baker and can't come out of character. And so maybe we'll still be able to do that. But I want to show what happened here when she did that Halloween thing with she was wearing horns and he was walking behind her in the party and calling him a handsome devil. And I said, no, in the comment, I said, he's Halo's in heaven. Encouraging that horn stuff, Halloween stuff, the fall from grace from that reporter from last year. Oh, it's a far cry from the Superman that we knew. Remember when he was saving Lex? Crazy. Okay. And then he becomes that. And then you've got Fatima, one of the obsessed fans that I could not get him to, stop, take her stuff down or put charges against. But the point is, that's a pretty far fall from grace. That is not Superman. That is not Clark. That is not our Smallville. That's a pretty far cry from where he started from, and we watched him grow up as going all the way back to Charlie Baker. That's not a soulmate. That's not God. Right? That's trying to make bad look good and make good look bad. And she's saying good things in the post, the girl that posted that. And here's the episode that really ticked me off. Because this isn't porn. It's supposed to be family television. Right? Your personal life should be left at home or you should be in the actual industry. So that's when I'm like, he needs protection. So that's when I'm like, I want to start writing stuff for the show to do something. Like if you're really in love with somebody and really care, if you're invested, if there's anything meaningful there, you step up to the plate. The gloves are off, no holds barred. You defend and stand in front of. If he's worried about losing his lead role on a TV show, worried he can't pay the bills and whatever, well, get a 2 household income. She can get a job. The point is, it's okay if you're both working, you don't have to worry about it. If it's not right, you do something about it. I would say no. I would have said change the script. Right? Read the script. And if it's not right, I'd say something. Change the script. Here, you can do that. He got sick, right? He does talk about it briefly somewhere in the years. He got the heebie-jeebies. And so he was done with the show. Out. I'm finished. Right? He needed time away from that heebie-jeebie experience. Now, I know all about the heebie-jeebies, and I can tell you what one of the things was. One of the things with the heebie-jeebies were these books. Back in 2008, I mailed, was it just the first one? Yeah, in 2008. Oh, wait, there. I mailed the first one to him. And they sent it back unopened from the TV set. And his intuition, his instinct, Clark, this guy's screaming for rescue, help, save me. Right? From the ferocious people around me. They're thinking things that I'm not sure how I ended up getting into for them. I don't want to be the muse. So because he didn't get to read it, and it was a free copy, right? He just felt that. And so things started going weird. I was only 24 hours away from where he was. If he'd been allowed to read that, everything could have been fixed on time for him, and then he wouldn't have suffered the heebie-jeebies because I would have jumped in there. No holds barred with all of the episodes I had saved in my Facebook notes already. I wanted to show something else about what the difference is of the quality of beauty. Can you see the difference? I can see the difference. And can you see him smiling about the difference? Right? You see what he's smiling about the difference? It's Charlie Baker smiling about Jennifer Baker. That's me in uniform, on duty all the time for him. There's a difference between when good looks good, and no matter what you say or do, you can't make good look bad. Period. I am that. And there's a difference when you try to make bad look good. Sometimes you can pull off making it look like maybe it's a little bit good, but most of the time you can tell it doesn't look that kind of good. So it breaks my heart that he didn't get to reach Sarah. This is the new Luthor symbol from my work. And this was me having troubles after my daughter was born, a second child, and the bubble just wouldn't pop. It just sat there, and I'm not pregnant. The baby was already here, and it went from being skinny and beautiful, and the weight just came on and on and on because I had a disorder called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Plus, I was struggling from addictions, recovery, and medication they put me on to help me sleep, and eating disorder. And so this happens. When you go through that baby making stage and you have them all on time, the baby fat takes care of itself. And when you're done, you usually get your body back. But this is the beautiful girl it made. And he never got to hold her while she was still young enough for him to go, okay, I would love to share in raising her with you. My intention had been for him to stay married to Jamie. And then we all help make sure Sarah is a huge investment for the future for Ben Affleck, Sylvester, and himself. And then, of course, the 2-part movies that Johnny Depp would later promise her, and the trip he took my mom and her to Vancouver for, and getting her ready for the parts when he met them at 4. So a lot of stuff went wrong, and that's kind of why I'm doing this. So that it's all there in case something happens to me, because I'm not well. I feel pretty sick inside most of the time. I'm nauseous. I'm sick of eating food, tired of going to sleep and waking up, waiting for stuff to get published, waiting for me to win awards, waiting for invitations to things, waiting for people to find me. But that was her at 5 in kindergarten. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Oh, look, I did post it to her. Look, it says Jessica Rose Rowling. At the time, it might have probably just been. Anyways, I guess I did send her some stuff. That's another thing that was in the inbox. Yeah, so I did send that to her. So he could have still held her. Anyways, the point is there's lots of stuff I sent to her inbox. I mean, he should write a book and call it Inbox. And there's the money that Johnny Depp gave to my mom, and my mom didn't trust herself, so she gave it to me. It's like 2 $10 Chinese bills, and it's like, I don't know, it says something on them where we trust the value or something. So that's the guy I was trying to reach, so he could see the $10 bills. Let's see if I can see what it says. Oh, to honor the bearer. But my mom gave them to me just so you guys see that meeting Johnny Depp was a true story. I sent that to her inbox too. About getting Tom to help me to reach Johnny Depp to reach my money. I wasn't asking for his. Well, I'll never get over that. I mean, that's pretty serious stuff when you go that far, right? I've never been to an event where people are walking around like that. I think I'd get pretty creeped up. Yeah, all of this stuff was today is day 5 of me sleeping in the Superwoman van. Toronto robbed me of $4,500 in theft, vandalism to my car, and dishonest mechanics. This is an option. I need to be helped, right? By reaching Tom. So I do have some of the messages I posted in there. I need to be recuperated for the loss this city has caused me. I need a Tom Welling-sized miracle. There will not be an announcement of a Smallville movie reunion without me and my work. So that would have been a good time in 2019. But in order for me to have my own table at the Comic-Con, I need to replace the stolen products of my Superman creation. And that starts with justice, right? And having him to help me do that would have been great. So it's just amazing how much I posted, phone number, everything. It just boggles my mind how little dishonest things like that can upset an apple cart for so long in somebody's life. And then makes the teeter-totter effect a fall for the whole industry. I said where the van was located, Staples, and I gave my address where I was staying when I lived in Ottawa. And I have other stuff in here about stuff I had made for him and have for him. Like this little card here. There's a bigger card. So I'm just stumped because my goal had been that he would be there so I could have met his family, which I did know and had sent messages to, and was following his cousin, who's a musician. Sarah plays clarinet, saxophone, piano. I could have been able to pick up some instruments and get a little unrusty if I could have gotten him to play. So when I saw him playing in the Kane role on Lucifer, I was annoyed because he doesn't sing, he doesn't play, he doesn't do anything. And that goes back to the rose for Valentine's. But I've never had Valentine's or mistletoe. And the poetry book with Clark would have been a nice opener. The Talon open mic performing, like it would have brought out a whole nother side to him, which he still has not shown, other than letting people know, yeah, I can play a little. Nobody to perform with or sing with. I bought this beautiful painting that Michael Rosenbaum's sister did. I can show you guys because the odds are that Tom will see this. That, to me, I saw his son, Thompson, the first one. I couldn't resist it. I had to buy it. It cost me a dime. And it's still sealed in the box here in this apartment in Gatineau, hiding somewhere, waiting to be given to him as a gift so he can open it and look at it. Michael Rosenbaum's sister would not tell Michael Rosenbaum. She says to me, oh, my brother's only into himself, thinking about himself. He's not really into helping others, so he would never tell Tom about it. So he's not going to talk about her talent as a painter and benefit from that and help his sister benefit. And that this was not a custom ordered painting. It was just something she had painted and I had saw and went, wow, Tom has to have that. That is his son. And that was before they got married, when his hair was still being cut and it was shaved and short. And I still want to see him get what's his. So that's what the box looks like when it finally arrived. And she refused all this time to ever talk about it. I still have that. It cost an arm and a leg. It's $100 every time it ships somewhere. So it's just left here. Got to pay $100 on top of what I paid her for it. Right? It just keeps going up in value. So this is the kryptonite ring in the dark when it glows. It's still prototype. I haven't got the EKG working yet, so you can see the person's heartbeat. This was the original one that I was wearing. And I had learned very, very hard way when I was working this out. Don't wear this in the water because it's just a prototype. So it doesn't have real titanium. So eventually I ruined it. So I couldn't wear this one away anymore. It was done, gone. I think I showed you guys that's the picture that was the straw that broke the camel's back. This is the Charlie Baker stuff. Charlie Baker, you remember that? When your dad was friends with my parents and showing pictures and you saw this and you're like, oh, who's that? She's cute. Oh, look at her with the Cookie Monster. Is she in the bathtub? Friends with people who are having better lives than mine. Because in this picture, I'm actually holding the gun. She went on to have a very good life because she was lucky to be here in 1980 in Canada. This one you'd swear was related to Denzel Washington. She's so black, she white. Anyways, it's supposed to be like Charlie Baker's girl. Like he's had the hot crush on her since he saw her. And this was the picture that did it for Charlie. And he still cares about my foot. That was the first time I broke a bone. Break a leg, good luck. That was at a convention for Jehovah's Witnesses. That's 4. It's like I literally have never not known the true God, Jehovah. Born that way. Bless him for that gift. I would never trade places with the world for this relationship I have with him. This is my firstborn, which Tom didn't get to meet on time. She was doing cadets and was a leader, 16. I haven't seen her since she's 15. Lots has happened. It's not a good story. But he would have liked that. John Schneider would have loved her. And this is me, the little black dot, way down here in my punk era. It goes with one of Tom's cousins. I'm in the middle there. Boop, boop, boop. It's the only time I ever shaved my head, dyed it black, because it's blue or red. That's acting school in Brandon, Manitoba. I had my teacher pull me upside. Oh, well, which teacher was it? I think it was this teacher here. She pulled me aside when we were doing an assignment. Get on your back and googa gaga and roll around like a baby. And I'm like, no, thanks. I'll just observe. So that's when she noticed. I guess it must have been the Robin Williams in me testing me. So she says, you have what it takes to make it. You don't tell anyone I said that to you. I'm like, that's the only time I played a witch in something. Standing up on the table or something like that. Because I had the funkiest hair, right? The coolest look. Put the mohawk up and stuff. So this is the one that would look like Tom's cousin, who sort of still looks like that now, is like in Germany. Like it would have been that close, like the girl next to me. Crazy stuff. The connection was always there. So this would have been more of Charlie Baker's obsession as we got older. Woo! It was a fake Michael Jackson jacket and glove. John Schneider would have loved that too. Dukes of Hazzard. So the point is, my mom could not afford to buy me any of the real good stuff. So she had to always find this knockoff stuff. And you know, I was the happiest 9-year-old in the world. I didn't care if it was knockoff. Michael would have been proud of me. So I want to show people how devastated I was, because this is what I looked like when the show was still running, when they were looking to do casting calls. You see how tiny I was? It was just a dot. Regular size girl. And I just want to show people that not everybody stays skinny when they have kids. Devastation happens. Your life gets turned upside down. I look like that. It was just after she was born. And I was still that tiny. I was in Terrace, BC, 24 hours away from the show in Burnaby. And then the weight came on and it just wouldn't stop. And these were some of the products I had made. I had sent stuff to Michael Rosenbaum's management offices, 2 different places, twice at my own expense. Nothing ever got sent back. I never got a letter, nothing. A Superwoman hat, the symbol on it. I had a t-shirt. One had super symbol on the wrong side, like that hat there, that symbol, on the wrong shirt for him and on the wrong side for my shirt. And then all the rest of the shirts for the guys were right. And all the rest of the shirts for the girls were right. So I was like, oh, did the person who made these shirts do that on purpose? Was it a subconscious thing? Or we're wearing the 2 shirts where the symbols are in the wrong spot and everybody else is right. Anyway, it is what it is. And the roses. This bugged me. That was the Valentine's that he gave all the roses. You see him sitting there all slumpy and his hair is all disheveled. Like, that's not him. Why would you even have a picture posted of him looking like that? He's not shaved or showered, whatever, all dressed. Like, look at me now, right? The point is, I was like, well, where's his gift? Where's his Valentine? What is he getting back for this? And I was annoyed. How much money does it cost to fill a room with red roses? And it just bugged me. Like, where's the box of chocolates? Where's the serenade? Sing a song to him, slow dance, breakfast in bed, just something for somebody who spends that much money and makes that much effort and doing other things all the time for other people. And that's why I wanted Charlie Baker so bad. Because I saw a long time ago this guy that could have been given salvation, baptized. So when I saw that on the wrong TV show, I got really upset. Because I didn't know he could play. I knew about his cousins and stuff, the cartoonist and the musician. I followed her. I paid monthly to her Patreon. I asked her to sing one of my songs or read some of my lyrics, or we exchange, or actually asked her to open up her door. Can I come stay with you so I could come to Nashville and we can swap lyrics? Because she had written a song I loved and I was daring her to let me sing it for him. And the song was like about, I don't want to be friends with you. And I loved it. She did a great job and I supported that. And then I was annoyed because then she goes to their wedding and sings for herself to perform and promote her career. And then I was annoyed with that. That's the wrong reason to go to family's wedding, right? It's supposed to be meaningful and true and honest. So what I'm realizing, he's just enraptured by all this dishonesty, misplaced trust. And he's like, well, who am I supposed to trust? What am I supposed to do? Right? That's my Charlie Baker. The baseball guy. You see what I'm saying by the clothes? I mean, he was born in New York State, right? He's a big city guy. He's an Amazon. He's not country. Clark. Like the ball from where he was to where we saw him drop to. What is that? Tom. Photo up. And everybody's watched it. Look. Pray, right? Salvation. A handsome devil, right? Liked you on Lucifer more. Small L. Look at that. Does that seem natural and normal, healthy from this guy in the beginning? Like we all had to watch that. That's another episode I won't get into. Stuff that you probably wouldn't appreciate, but this has got to be one of the worst. Who are those people? Right? You either stand with God or die with the world. Right? Those are not people he knows. Those are not his people. He's in a strange place. He's got no place to be. And then there's Christopher and him. It's absurd. All these years have been kept from being able to read the Smallville reunion movie, go back to making the show and doing more seasons of the show. And people are trying to say, oh, that's the most lovely couple I've ever seen, kind of stuff. We want this guy back. We want to make him fly. Am I doing, Tom? In this picture here, on that day at that time, she was in a single picture with him somewhere. Not this one, but she did that smile on the hand. That same year, she had been already busy blocking the Facebook page for Superwoman. Right then, 2016, that first year. And this has gone on for 10 years. And when would Tom ever do that? Like, that's telling himself off as Clark. Like, we literally need to figure out how to fix the situation with the work Canada has that I have to provide to Canadians. And make it possible for him to, I don't know, reinstate and somehow to be able to be himself. But there's some pretty bad shots of worldliness, more horns, nasty Warhols, gang, California. Definitely been a little drunk, maybe on the borderline of powder. The dark eyes of the child. And then back to that. So there's like a whole book there. You could call it My Fall from Grace. And so I just wanted to share just that little minor part of the stuff as a security guard and as a writer through the years that I can't just ignore. From the time I posted, no, he's not a handsome devil. He's halos in heaven. And basically she should have apologized and said I shouldn't have said that and took it down. She didn't. She left it there and left it there and left it there and left it there. I don't unfortunately have that picture of that video stream of her wearing the horns with him at the Halloween party. But we need to fight to save him and save the work so we can have some restitution, some good out of this. So I'm going to go on now. I just wanted to share all that there's a lot here going on in the background of these last 10 years and what's happening behind Paramount, Netflix, and Warner Brothers. Just one picture of her sitting on his lap in a black and white photo booth brought down 10 years of the film industry in Hollywood. I'm not sure that picture. Anyway, there's more stuff to come in future episodes. I'm now going to go on to find the Spider-Man stuff. It's in here somewhere, which originally was for Tobey Maguire. And the Ben Affleck stuff for the accountant's wife. But I just wanted to see the difference of what it looks like from who we knew and where we are. And my plea for him to be able to look at this stuff, read it, come to know about it, and read the movie scripts instead of continuing to go on to the Comic-Con tours and not be aware of what's happening around him, thinking that he can trust people and that there's honesty and goodness in places where it isn't there. So that's my thing. Peace out. I will pray for you. Pray for all of us that we do what's right. I'm going to continue to read these books on my YouTube channel. So bye. Come back for more of what's coming with all the other actors and all the other stuff that I have collected. Going back to 2009 when I was trying to reach Sam Raimi and James Franco in New York for the Spider stuff. Peace out. Bye. Not TV. Send me your resume, headshots, registration fee, $20. Bye.